So in this video, we are going to talk about why emotions are your biggest enemy if you are in a business. Now, we all may have seen those type of businessmen who looks like that these people are just heartless. They doesn't care about what the person in front of them is saying. They just don't listen to them. And this is especially true if you are working in a Silicon Valley or in the major business area in your country. This is especially true. There you see these type of people more often than in other areas of the world. And the reason is simple. Those people are hardened by the situations and by the betrayals of the people whom you are seeing as the meek person, right? Those people who are just crying in front of them, who are begging in front of them, right? Those are the people on whom those businessmen have trusted in the past, and they have been betrayed by those people, right? So put it into the perspective. Almost every single person on this earth is emotional at some time. Some people, or you can say more than half of people, are more emotional when they are a child, right? In the childhood of ours. There we see that children are more emotional than the adult people. Why? Because they are more pure in their hearts, right? They haven't seen the world clearly. So children, or you can say the childhood, is the first step where people are more emotional. Then people grow old, right? They become adults, and this is the second step. Here are some people who are more emotional than they were in their childhood, right? And then there's a third step. It is the least expected, but people become more emotional. Some people, not all, but some people become more emotional in their old age when they pass their 60s, right? There, some people start thinking of others. There, people start thinking like, I have lived my life long enough, and maybe I should, live a little. So that becomes the motto of those people who have just lived their lives with their codes, or who have just lived their lives as heartless as possible in layman terms. So these people who were emotional, they hired the wrong people and they trusted them with their business work, with their homework, or with their work of the assignments, right? And those people betrayed them. Those people maybe have caused them a lot of loss of time, a lot of loss of money. And that is why we see these type of people who are just hardened, who are just kind of heartless, right? And you may have heard this quote from almost maybe every single businessman, that he's saying that I'm not as emotional as I appear to be, right? Because it is a must-have capability to do business. We, in the core of our being, we are humans and we have humanity. But when we start doing business, when our goal is to reach, a level where we can help a lot of people and earn money in the same process, that is when people start becoming hardened, right? That is where people have to have a hard skin. People have to shed their emotions, because you cannot have the sympathy with all of the people who are working for you and run your company if those people are causing you money, right? So that is the reason why all these businessmen are, more, you can say, heartless. They appear to be heartless. They are not heartless, but they appear to be heartless. And the reason is because those things are jeopardizing their business. Those things are jeopardizing their plans for the future, their plans for the money, their plans for the companies, and their plans for their employees, right? And this is the reason why emotion is your biggest enemy if you are doing a business. And I am not just talking about a traditional sense of business, right? It doesn't matter if you are working from your home, right? you have started a company and you have employed employees all across the world, right? It doesn't matter if you are working from home, if you have a cabinet, if you have an office, or even if you are a trader. In the trader life, emotions are your biggest enemy, and traders know this, right? If they see that trend is against them and they are in a bad trade, and if they go with their emotions, if they go with their gut feelings only, right, that no, this thing would turn around, I guarantee you, every single person, every single trader on this earth have lost their money. And losing money is the ultimate pain point, or you can say ultimate price when someone pays if he is in a business, right? Because he is just not losing the money, he is also losing that time, right? That time it took to lose that person the amount of money which he have lost. And this is the reason emotions are seen as the biggest obstacle, the biggest problem if you are running a business. And it becomes more prominent, more important for you if your business is a large scale business, if you are running business internationally, if you have, let's say, more than 1000 employees, then becoming an emotional person is more hard for you, because every time you hire a bad employee, every time you are not firing a person who is bad at his or her job, every time you are doing a bad deal because the person who is making a deal with you is the person you like, that cost you both money and time. And maybe we can recover money, but we cannot recover time. And this is the reason why emotions are seen as the biggest problem if you are in a business world. And that is why this video is for you. If you are an emotional person and if you're thinking that I should start a business, believe me, you have to shed your emotions aside. Because if you keep your emotions, if you start thinking that all right, this person seems good enough, and this person, all right, he is crying or she is crying, and maybe I should help him, maybe I should, I should trust him or her, even if that person has made a mistake, even if that person has cost you money, you are making a big mistake. Because often, more than not, those people tend to make more mistake than others. And it doesn't matter what kind of mistake it was. Maybe that person steal from you, maybe that person costed you money, maybe that person cost you some time, maybe that person arranged a wrong meeting, maybe that person scheduled a wrong meeting, wrong place for the meeting, right? Maybe that person quoted wrong price for your product or for the raw material you were trying to import or export, whatever it is. If someone has cost you some money and you have seen enough, like, you cannot just fire a person if that person has made first mistake. You cannot do that, and I don't think so anybody does that. If a person is firing you, or if you are a person who is trying to fire someone, I'm sure you have given that person enough of chances. But if that person starts crying, if that person starts begging, if that person starts giving you a sob story of his life or her life, believe me, that person is going to cost you more money and more time than you can imagine. And I'm not just saying from my personal experience, there are a lot of people, millions of people all around the world which can say the same thing to you. There are books, right? There are books in which the writers, the authors, the biographical figure in that book, right? Or if it is an autobiography, those people have gone through this phase. That is why I'm saying almost every single businessman which you are seeing and which is seemingly a heartless person, that person has been betrayed by trusting those people who were wrong or who were bad for their businesses. And this is the reason why I'm making this video, that emotions are bad for your business. And if you are an emotional person, then you shouldn't be doing any business. And if you want to do a business, you have to shed your emotions aside. So this is it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you liked it, please like this video and share the channel with your friends, family, etc. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.